All right, everyone, a good and a happy Monday. King 5 meteorologist Adam Claibon here with you. Hopefully your Memorial Day has gone well. It's been one that's been rainy in a few spots. Definitely have seen the shower activity pick up as we have made our way into now more of the evening hours. And we'll see a bit more of that as we head on into the night as well. Gradually decreasing, however, late tonight and into the start of the day on Tuesday. Kind of breezy in a few spots too. That's helping to lead to some higher chops, some higher wave action out towards the coast. We'll talk about that, but let's first get into the rain total so far. And we are going to start to see some of these totals around areas such as Tacoma and Seattle and Bellingham begin to go up. Hasn't really been a whole lot in the rain gauge reported yet, but you can see some of the totals off toward the west. We were expecting the higher totals to be out there, but now we're beginning to see that band move over the I-5 corridor. How much more do we see with that? Well, yet to be determined. Again, we're still thinking about a tenth to a quarter of an inch for many spots around those locations. Could be some gusty winds. You might have noticed that from time to time here as we head on into the evening. Might keep some of that around. The high surf, we just talked about that. We'll show you exactly where those spots are that could see some of the higher chop and some of the higher wave action as we go throughout the night and early into Tuesday. And then there's an isolated chance, a very isolated chance of a storm that could be around. Now that will be earlier here into the night. I think the chances for the most part tomorrow will be pretty much gone. We do have some sprinkles ahead for the first part of the day on Tuesday, drying out as we head into the late afternoon and into the evening, and then a drier and warmer forecast ahead as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. We're talking 70s returning back into the area at that point. And the showers, they do return late this work week, heading into Friday. Another system to cool us down, and we'll see highs falling back down into the 60s at that point. As a matter of fact, here it is right here. You can see Tuesday, it's looking to be in the low 60s for highs. Then we got the warm up. Wednesday, definitely on Thursday as we flirt with the 80-degree mark there. And then the cool down again heading into Friday as highs fall back down into the low 60s. As a matter of fact, that system that might be impacting us right there might be the same one that we're seeing moving through here into today. I'll kind of explain how that's going to happen here. But we do dry out for the weekend. We see partly cloudy skies and highs more so back into the mid-60s. There are the waves out that way towards Westport. We're one of the spots that are under the high surf advisory. Now, nothing that's going to be all that terribly impressive with the waves, but definitely want to keep you aware, especially for people who might want to go out here and just take a look and just view the water out there. Be very careful if you're going to be by any of the coastal ways, as we do expect that high chop to really be in place for us. And yeah, on the jetties too, it's going to be kind of dangerous, so do be careful. Here's a look as we make our way towards, this is actually our Seattle camera. You can see back and forth between that and Bellingham, and also here in Port Angeles, where we are just seeing a lot of gloomy weather. That rain, again, has been present for many of us, but we're just beginning to pick up on it here around the I-5 corridor. Cameras just kind of messing up on us right there. Between there, Everett, Tacoma, and here in Seattle. Obviously, you can see the Seattle camera. Definitely wet here as we made our way into the afternoon. Out at the airport, it's wet. We have a busy departure deck, and here we are in Seattle. As you can see, temperatures sitting in the mid-50s, south winds coming in closer to about 9 miles per hour. And we'll see temperatures drop. There won't be a whole lot of a drop, but I think upper 40s probably going to be the extent of our cooling as we head on into the night. Wanted to show you the winds, where they're faring right now. Generally between about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Now, of course, we've seen some of the gusts a bit higher at times, so just something to be aware of, especially if you're driving in from the south. Going to get great gas mileage with that. You can see, though, what this has done for our temperatures. Yesterday, we had more of the sunshine, the warmer air, especially back on Saturday, too. That has changed dramatically. We're down by about 10 to 15, closer to 20 degrees in some spots, which puts us more so in the low to mid-50s. Here across many parts of Puget Sound and the Kitsap Peninsula. Not quite as cool as you head farther north, where we haven't seen as much of the rain yet there in Friday Harbor and Bellingham. But there it is. You can see the radar definitely picking up on all the shower activity that we have here, making our way into the latter part of our Monday evening, and now getting ready to head into our Monday night. Going to zoom in, kind of show you where we are seeing some heavier pockets. You'll see that down this way, closer to Chehalis. Looks like that's moving on just to our east right now, closer to about the 4 to 5 p.m. hour. Also noticing some of that over the Kitsap Peninsula, getting closer to areas here around Seattle, Federal Way, and all the way up towards Everett. Now you can see too that we don't have as much of the moisture and the deep moisture as you head farther north, so amounts should be high as you head up that way from Snohomish County northward. But we do have some off and on shower activity behind that, and you'll see this spin of low pressure that's still with us here as we head on into the evening. And as that continues to track on through, that's going to be probably the driving force for maybe helping to bring in a few areas of lightning or a few areas of thunder. Here as we head on into the evening, it will give just enough instability to help create some of those thunderstorms. Now, out this way, high surf advisories. They're in effect right now, and they will be in effect until noon on tomorrow. We're talking about some of those wave heights as high as maybe 15, perhaps a few of them closer to 20 feet. We'll see about that, but definitely will be some large breaking waves here along the coast here as we go throughout the night. High tide, too, as a matter of fact. That's getting closer to about 9:30 here into the evening, so definitely be careful around that point. As we head on into our futurecast model, you'll see that the main band of rain begins to break apart. We'll see more of those off and on showers. They kind of fizzle as we head on into the night, and here we are early into Tuesday morning at about 5 o'clock. But what you will notice is we have this energy in the atmosphere as we continue on into the day tomorrow. We get that daytime heating. That energy is around to help to produce and flare up some of the shower activity at that point. So you'll see that begin to increase to a certain degree. Here we are at 2 to 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, and then quickly we'll get on out of here. And we'll keep things dry, it looks like, on into the day on Wednesday. More sunshine expected again. We'll start our warm-up then, and we'll expect to keep things pretty warm and turn even warmer by the time we roll on into Thursday. And I wanted to show you this again. We talked about how this system will find its way off to the south, but there it is. You can definitely tell it's still spinning down around some of these parts here around Nevada into California. That's helping to throw up some moisture back into Idaho still, and even noticing some of that into Montana. Now it starts to find its way back northward, and with that being the case, here we are. This is going to be really the driving force in helping to probably bring back some of that rain across the eastern side of the state and maybe help to throw a few showers our way too as we head on into the day on Friday. Cools us down a little bit, starts to head off towards the east, and there you can see as we head on into the weekend, we do dry out gradually and see a bit more sunshine, and then we really start to warm up, especially as we head on into the start of next work week. Looking at some of those temperatures, here we go. You can see the quick warm up that we'll have for Wednesday and Thursday. For the most part, though, lows will be in the 40s, and highs that you see right here will be in the 60s, and the low 60s at that. Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, with the average high at 68. So we're going to be below average on most of those days right there. And then continuing on, well, we do start to warm back up. Sunday, we're at 66, but we're back in the 70s by next Monday and seeing more of the 70s as we head into the following week. For tonight's lows, we'll drop down to 47 in Orcas Island, 49 in Bellingham, 43 though in Shelton, and 41 in Quill. You might see just a bit more clearing there. It will help us to cool down just a bit more. And then you can see some of those highs reaching the low to mid 60s by tomorrow afternoon. 61 in Quileute and about 64 there in Port Townsend. Tacoma up to 64, and it looks like we'll reach a high of 61 in Puyallup. Your forecast, next 7-day stretch, a couple of pretty warm days, nice days for us Wednesday and Thursday as we continue the back and forths of spring. Showers again possible heading into the day tomorrow and Friday. Not a washout by any means on any of those days. Just more so the cool down that we'll notice as those systems continue to track on through here, or at least one system that'll track through and then come back heading into Friday. And then we'll dry out for the weekend with highs rebounding back into the mid and upper 60s and eventually on Monday finding their way back in the low 70s. All right, everyone. Well, if you are heading out this evening, just make sure to have the rain gear nearby and, yes, prepare for another coolish day heading on into the day on Tuesday. Have a magnificent Monday night. We'll talk to you soon.